Hey everyone, welcome to the life-changing impact of dental implants. My name is Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman. So excited to be here. Tonight's theme is going to be full arch cases. As always, please ask your own questions. I love that. You need to reach out to me after this course for whatever reason. If you're watching live or on demand, feel free to do so at dentalnachos.com, emailing me at drnacho@dentalnachos.com, drnacho@dentalnachos.com, or texting any question you would like to 215-543-6454. So I have, here's my Zoom background, one of my favorite patients of all time you're going to get to meet, who is currently chewing and smiling with confidence using fixed implant overdentures. We are going to talk about the effective consultation techniques to increase case acceptance, identify restorative techniques to decrease dentist stress and improve patient outcomes. Just a few quick notes on that. Doing screw retained instead of cement retained restorations for single teeth posterior implants, really any implants, gives you the ability to retrieve these cases and not have to deal with cement trapped under the gum line. So take home nacho tip: doing screw retained or screw mentable cases give you the advantage of being able to retrieve the case, tighten a loose screw easily, not having to deal with cement trapped on the gum line. The challenges are you do have to hide that access hole, unlike a cement retained restoration. But with composites nowadays, and also most of these are in areas where you cannot see, to me that those benefits outweigh the risk for the patients that we see. Implant maintenance and long-term follow-up of implant cases from a single tooth to full mouth rehabilitation. So people say, what should I do for implant maintenance? What do I do for these cases? And one of my take-home tips is, first, get them on maintenance schedules that look like teeth schedules. Just because they have implants, like this patient here, coming in every 6 months to have things checked, clean around the implants, see how everything looks, is so important. These patients invest so much time, energy, effort, and money into the cases. Just because we have removed the ability to get a cavity, that's great, does not mean there are not challenges, prosthetic challenges, screw challenges, acrylic fracturing, zirconia having a problem. So make sure that your patients are on maintenance schedules where you can check all of these things. When we talk about removable cases, locator cases are very popular. You may need to change out attachments. So train your patients, say, hey, you invested so much into this, so much energy, time, effort, and money. You want to maintain it. We want to be able to, great tip, be able to find out when a problem is small before it gets bigger. So keep them on regular maintenance visits. Our hygienists see these patients just like any other patients. And the difference between fixed and removable implant cases. So people say, what's better, fixed or removable? Snap in and out or stay in all the time? They both have pros and cons. Some things that you can think about early in this CE on TV show is that removable cases you can clean underneath the sink. So cleansability is an advantage for removable cases. Cleaning fixed cases, say to people, do you clean underneath your couch well? Do you have those vacuum attachments that get underneath the couch? Are you that type of person? Because that's what you're going to need to do with these fixed cases like you see here, whether it's a water pick, whether it's some sort of other type of oral hygiene aid. So make sure that patients' mindset is such that they are going to really invest the time, energy, and effort in cleaning around their fixed cases. Removable cases are more forgiving in that. Doesn't mean removal is better, fixed is worse. It just means to start to understand these differences between fixed and removable overdentures. Another take-home tip for fixed versus removable overdentures is too much bone can be a challenge. Make sure, like this patient here, when he smiles, if we were to see the junction between the hybrid and the gum tissue, that would be a real problem. So make sure you're planning these cases ahead of time with your lab, with the person placing it, with you restoring it, getting wax ups as needed. So too much bone can actually be a problem, and there are times you're going to need to be able to reduce bone. So that is some great summary take-home tips, educational objectives for the life-changing impact of dental implants. And now we're going to go to a fun video. And as we go to this fun video, the most important person here is you. The second most important person is your future patients. So make sure that you have them in mind and ask good questions that will help you. So we are going to show the video here. Great. Hey, denting friends, it's Paul, Dr. Nacho. I'm here with one of my favorite patients and people that I've ever met in my entire life. We're going to share a fun story of taking Rick from getting his teeth replaced years ago to where he is today. We're going to ask him some questions about the process. So first, Rick, I appreciate you being part of this video, helping dentists learn, sharing stories. Tell us back in 2008, you came to this office. How did you get here? So number one, take more videos of your patients. This can help you with showcasing your cases to other people, training your team, working on your clinical techniques. One of my most important tips is that developing your dentist core, your mind skills, your word skills, your hand skills is the name of this game. So people say, is this business C? Is this clinical C? This is clinically oriented implant C, where we talk about restorations like fix versus remove, where we talk about screw retain versus cement retain. We talk about having too much bone. Those are all clinical things, but you don't get to do anything clinically unless patients understand what you're talking about and want to move forward. So take home Nacho tip. Use your phone, get the HIPAA consent, and take more videos to train your team, share with other patients, and a lot of times just make yourself feel better about what you're doing.
I did a Google search, and I thought, my teeth are getting so bad, I don't want to be like my 80-year-old relatives that are going to the dentist every other week to have something repaired and fixed. I just want to be done with it, have a nice smile, and you were the one.
Well, I appreciate that. And I still remember we had a great marketing system then. I see the power of the internet, where we would record calls so we could learn from them. I remember hearing your call and saying, hey, I hope you guys can help me. I checked you out online. So when you came in and you see a 31-year-old me, now I'm 43 years old, what were some of the things I did to make you feel like you could trust me, move forward? Because I was only 31 years old at the time. Did you think I was too young, you know?
Oh, I was so happy that you were young, because I figured, well, even when I'm really old, you're going to still be around.
Yeah.
And you were so enthusiastic about the whole case and, you know, what we wanted to accomplish, and you got what I wanted to do.
Thanks. And what I like to share with my dental audience here is that you can make things fun. Instead of talking in dental school terms like things have failed, you could say, hey, it's time for your teeth to retire and replace them. So let's stop the videotape and remind ourselves, don't say fail, say replaced. How you make these patients feel when they are coming in and need all the terminal dentition, way too negative, so dramatic, teeth that are all ready to retire and be replaced. You see my patient laugh there. These patients are in an emotional state where they may be embarrassed, they may be ashamed, they may be frustrated. Make things fun. It doesn't mean share the reality, but do it in a way where they like you, where they think you're credible, where they want to move forward with you. So we, back then, removed these teeth, preserved the bone. You were part of our team. You even got a chance to have some work done with my dad, with our awesome periodontist. We have a great lab that did this. Now this is back in, we finished this case in 2012. Removed your teeth, put in screw in all the time. Screw in, stay in all the time teeth. Patients don't care about dental terms in office, they care about how it impacts them. So we talk about snap in and out teeth, you can clean under the sink, or stay in all the time, screw in teeth. One option, Millie, is snap in and out teeth that you can clean underneath the sink. Another is stay in all the time teeth that never come out and can look great and feel great, but making sure you keep them clean is so important. Start to identify fixed or removable, not fixed versus removable. Use patient-friendly terms like snap in and out. Remember, too much bone can be a problem. Taking a 3D x-ray, don't give anyone any sort of long-term plan without seeing the 3D x-ray. You can talk about fixed or removable, but don't say, oh, you definitely could do fixed before you see the CBCT and you realize they have paper thin bone that's way too thin and it's not practical. It doesn't mean you couldn't build up the bone, but make sure that you're talking in broad brushstrokes to help the patient understand what fits best into their life at this time. How's been your experience with having these screw-in teeth?
I forget that they're not the ones I was born with, except they feel better and they look way better.
That's awesome, right? And I would imagine, because you're just such a awesome person and you're outgoing, do people think these are just your regular teeth?
I don't think anybody thinks anything different unless I tell them.
These teeth, right?
I do.
Now, a couple things. So I know my dental people. We're an interesting people. Dental school teaches us to be an interesting way. So we've replaced regular teeth, natural teeth, with implant-supported teeth, traditionally called fixed hybrids. We did this in 2012. So we use different materials now. but we have acrylic over a bar, which has been great. But one of the cool things about you that I don't have, and this awesome person taking the video have, you get what, Rick? What do you have at home? You know, an extra set.
Oh yeah, an extra set.
So we made it. Smart people learn from their own mistakes. Wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So one of the things I've learned is that these cases, once patients get a fixed implant prosthesis or removable implant prosthesis, and something happens, acrylic breaks, they drop their denture, one of the attachments needs to be replaced at the lab instead of chairside, they are very frustrated to have to give it up and send it to the lab. So what I do now is I use the short-term denture, golden nacho tip. Dentures without implants are for smiling, not chewing. Dentures without implants are for smiling, not chewing. That short-term denture, otherwise known as an immediate denture, I take that and I transform it by either using temporary cylinders on the fixed case or by picking up attachments on the removable case and make them a back-up overdenture. It is so valuable, backup removable or backed up fixed. So plan into your case, whether it's accounting for the lab fee or having some small expense, make a backup set. It will help you many times as it's helped me. Rick, an extra set of teeth. I don't have an extra set of teeth.
Yeah.
So if anything ever happens, always be planning ahead, dentist. If a tooth needs to be repaired, if acrylic fractures off, if there's a challenge, you have a whole extra set, which you made at that time. Does that make you feel more confident and secure?
Oh, without a doubt, except I forget that they're not mine, so
Yeah.
I don't even think, oh yeah, there's an extra set.
Yeah, so that's
but it is good when you point out that I do have one.
And it goes. Now, some of my dental people, I've done cases like this for years. We're going to do fixed implants, removable implants, stay all the time. One of the things I want to give Rick so much credit for is he has a super nice car, which he takes care of, and you take care of these teeth. So now talk to the patients for a minute. If someone was thinking, I'm not sure if I want to do a case like this, or is it worth the time and money? Tell us, is it worth the time and money? And also, how do you take care of it after?
Oh, it's definitely worth the time and money. It's the best thing I ever did.
Awesome.
And really, I just brush them with an electric toothbrush, and then use a water pick.
Perfect.
And floss under them every day. You know when there's something under it. You can kind of feel it under there, and it just doesn't feel so clean. So you get that water pick out and it's gone.
And that's such a great way to put it. So you know, power wash it. You come in here and have our hygienist take care of it. I'm going to have my awesome video version show your x-ray. If you just show this x-ray for the video here.
Crazy x-rays.
Yeah, so we have multiple implants. We have an extra bone-saving implant. I know what you're thinking, Dennis. Why is there an extra implant? You're also saying, why is this tooth up here? Because I know you're Dennis. That tooth is just sleeping. Maybe one day we'll need to remove it. Right now it's... So now let's talk about it. When this video ends, I'm going to have you guys turn your cameras and ask questions and get ready. I'm going to ask you what's one thing you've learned so far. These CE courses on TV are designed to be fun, fast-paced, give you digestible information. I know when you're watching now, maybe some people are watching this on demand in the future, but I know it's an evening after a day of dentistry where you've had challenges. Maybe your own children are causing you challenges. We have a 3-year-old in our house who's kind of destroying everything. So let's just take this 1 hour together to learn and have fun and do things that we're going to remember tomorrow and the next day and the next day. We don't need to learn everything in one course. We just need to learn small things and build on these small things. So I'm going to ask you what's one thing you've learned so far soon. But what I want to share here as we look at this x-ray is our periodontist, in-office periodontist, placed the upper implants. I placed the lower implants. At the time, I thought you needed more implants, so I placed one implant in the lower anterior later. It was not one that fit into the long-term restorative plan. It's much lower than the other implants, so it's just a bone-saving implant. No big deal there. So this is traditional. This was done in 2008, still working 13 years later at the time of this recording. 2008, stay in all the time teeth. This is a titanium bar, acrylic teeth. 7 implants on the lower, 6 implants on the top. We bring the patient in for maintenance. How often do we remove it? In general, we remove it when there's a problem. There's so many different schools of Nacho thought on when to remove these. Some people do it every 6 months. To me, it depends on how well the patient takes care of it. This patient is meticulous about it. You're going to meet a patient soon who is not, who strived very hard to take care of theirs, but it was a tougher case to take care of. So right then and there, these are some take-home points. So this has been clinical. This has been business. This has been practice management. This has been patient communication. This has been mind, words, hands, heart, all at the same time. It's not bothering anyone, but this is an example of implants that were placed over 10 years ago, restored with a fixed hybrid acrylic titanium bar from one of our awesome lab resources. You want to meet our lab resource, you can. So you can come back to us for the end of this video. Thanks to my awesome videographer. So before we wrap up, Rick, tell me, when you walked in this room, you said you spent a lot of time in this room back in the day.
I did.
But now you just come like twice a year, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
So
and it's easy.
Right, you set yourself up for success. You just represent everything that's good about dentistry, everything that's good about people. I don't know if you know this about our job. Sometimes it can be fairly frustrating, and I know people don't want to be here. We're doing full contact arts and crafts. So my message to you is take videos just like this. Get your HIPAA consent form, get the patient to share their story, because you can share patient stories to do 3 things. 1, help other patients who are in analysis paralysis stage to move forward. 2, teach other dentists. And 3, have more fun with your team, yourself, increase profitability, increase production, and do the things why we went to dental school to help people just like Rick. So thanks so much for being part of this video.
Thank you for giving me my smile back, and they feel great. I'm so happy I did it.
So there it is. Thank you for giving my smile back. So happy I did it. We don't get wins like this all the time. I get people who get annoyed with us, frustrated. It's too expensive. It's too long. So celebrate your SOAs, sense of accomplishments. This is one of mine that I'm proud of. We put it all together, the game of dentisting basketball. I have my Maurice Cheeks jersey here. My goal is to assist you into doing more of these cases. So before I ask you questions or ask you what you've learned, you're going to get a little bit of extra time. I want to show you a removable case, because we're dentists and we must think if one thing is good, the other thing must stink, right? If fixed is good, like this patient says, does the other thing we do stink? Well, let's see the other option here for patients, removable cases. Let's see if they enjoy those style of cases too. Let's see what kind of impact it has on their life. We'll bring up my nacho, because life is like a plate of nachos. So let's take a look here at a removable case. Sorry, guys. Let's bring this up here. So let's take a look here, guys. So our ad here.
Happier.
So I said, hey, I did a fixed case. Let's see how removable is. Let's see how these patients like what they get. Is it possible, dentist, that there could be 2 good things, maintaining a tooth and replacing with an implant? Why do we fight over root canals and implants when they both work out really, really well? So fixed versus removable. So I'm going to bring you guys on in a second right after this video, but let's take a look at a removable case here and what this patient thinks. Okay, dentistry friends, it's Paul, Dr. Nacho, and we have some interesting patient bibs. Oh, look at this. Maybe you guys want some of these bibs like this. So when you finish a big case, this is one of our best patients, Bob, even though he is, what's your favorite football team?
Patriots.
The Patriots. It's rough having him as a patient, but he is a great guy. So he here had a case where he has put a lot of time and effort into his teeth, but it was time for these teeth to retire. So we decided different plans, talked with him on many of our treatment plans and options, and we went with an implant overdenture. And today we have a U-shaped implant overdenture. We're going to take a look at this here. So Bob, bite down and smile for us. Awesome, look awesome. Now pop them out for us to show us how they work. Good, so they snap into position there. They're the snaps inside of here. I'll just take a look there. They're the snaps there. And our mentee, our baby age dentist, Dr. An, did an awesome job. Did you have a fun time doing this, Dr.
Awesome.
An?
Yeah.
Bob, how do you like your new teeth?
I like them. I love them.
All right, nice. Pop those back in. And most important question when someone gets this is, what is the first thing that you want to eat, looking forward to eating?
Pistachios.
Pistachios. Okay, go easy. There could be like little rocks, pistachios. So go easy. My life of pizza. So, pizza or nachos. And we went with an, but it was time for these teeth to retire. So we decided different plans, talked with him. So now, look at this patient. He's put so much effort into his teeth. Applaud him. Time for these teeth to retire. Don't get so sad and upset that teeth need to be removed. We can replace them with teeth that work awesome. But this video is 71 seconds. What can I do with this video? 1, I can make myself feel better. That matters, my morale. So when people are not very happy with me, which happens quite frequently in the dental office, I can watch this video. 2, I can train new team members and say, hey, take a look at this video. These are some of the cool things that we do. 3, I can show patients who are thinking about this that this is not as scary and as worrisome as they think, or they'll be happy that they do it so I can make more money. There's one thing I can share with you to have a great month, a great year, a great rest of your dental career, whether you've been a dentist for 1 year, whether you've been a dentist for 10 years, whether you've been a dentist as long as I've been alive, 44 years, more patient-centered, productive, profitable care. At the time of this recording, PPP, very meaningful, okay? Very pandemic-oriented, another P word. Patient-centered first, profitable, productive, positive. 4 Ps, patient-centered, productive, profitable, positive. These cases, just restoring implant overdentures, are some of the most patient-centered and profitable cases you can do. Is this a communication video? Kind of. Is this a clinical video? Kind of. Menu of treatment plans and options, and we went with an implant overdenture, and today we have a U-shaped implant overdenture. We're going to take a look at this here. So Bob, bite down and smile for us. Awesome, look awesome. Now, so you say to the patient, hey, look, looks like you have nice teeth when you smile, just like my patient here, okay? Clinical, communication, training your team. Now let's go a little bit deeper into the clinical. Pop them out for us to show us how they work. Good, so they snap into position. So that shows you how the thing works. Your team needs to know that. The patient needs to know that. You can share. There's nothing that covers the roof of your mouth, not the soft palate or hard palate. You'll be able to get the temperature of foods like ice cream. I know dentists can have arguments over anything. There's no taste buds. It doesn't change your taste. If I lived a life, I'd rather not have acrylic across the top part of my mouth. I'd rather have something like that. I authentically share that with the patient. Position there. There are the snaps inside of here. I'll just take a look there. They're the snaps there. And our menu. Then you see the little tiny locators. Those are the extended range ones. I usually do just the regular gold ones. This happen to be extended range ones. You see how this fits inside the mouth. Our baby age dentist, Dr. An, did an awesome job. You have a fun time doing this, Dr. An?
Yeah.
Bob, how do you like your new teeth?
I like them. I love them.
All right, nice. Then always end with the patient talking to the person in the video that you want to learn from. Most of the time, it's other patients just like this. Pop those back in. And most important question when someone gets this is, what is the, and they put it right in and say, what are you going to eat? He says pistachios, and I make a joke that they are like little rocks. I think he was messing with me. First thing that you want to eat, looking forward to eating.
Pistachios.
Pistachios. Okay, go easy. There could be like little rocks, pistachios. So go easy. I have a pizza or nacho.
That's my dream.
All right. Okay, so you guys are on. Everybody turn on your videos. You can do it. I gave us 20 minutes of a full warm-up. I'm going to give you this to watch over again. It's most important, the questions you ask. We got Jay. Good job, Jay. You did it. Turn on your video. Rest of you, just go to the perfect. Who I got there? Kimberly. Good. You're my friends now. Simi, I know you from when I was just there a few weeks ago. Good job. That Lisa? Lisa. Sarah. Awesome. Maria. I know Maria's here somewhere, right?
I'm coming.
Okay, good. So this is not just me talk and you guys sit there and be like, this guy's mildly funny, whatever. This is ours. It's for us to learn together. So I'm going to say, what is one thing you learned in the first 20 minutes that will help you be a better dentist, increase your morale, make your money better, that you can use tomorrow? Maybe you learn 5 things, but just what's one thing that sticks out? I'm going to start with you, Simi. You got to unmute yourself. Very polite of you to not be muted. All right, we'll go. Simi's getting to a quiet area. I also want to share, Maria, you're not that much younger than me. Isn't it nice to get live CE while you're home sitting in your kitchen?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this counts as live CE. You could come to more of these shows we have. Jay, although you're on me, is it nice to get live in-person CE from your table at your office?
Absolutely.
Part of it, though, because I like to follow rules, Maria knows me, and regulations, is that we must be able to be interactive and you ask questions. So I'm giving you an opportunity. So Maria, what's one thing you learned in the first 20 minutes that you could use tomorrow?
Connecting with the patient and basically finding out, what it is that they want.
Yeah. Also sharing options, sharing the positive parts of both options and the challenges. We're always so negative, risks and benefits. So here's some good parts. Here's some challenges. Sarah, how about you?
Hey, I really like the idea about transforming your immediate for a backup. I thought that was a nice.
I mean, patients have very unrealistic expectations. They think this is like the holiday season. They think you have a bunch of magic elves working in the back that can just make their crown in the next 5 minutes. Like, that doesn't exist. So when you can say, oh, remember that backup one we made you, really comes in handy and takes off pressure. Great. Sarah, where do you work?
I'm just starting at media, actually.
Okay, cool. Awesome. How many years have you been a dentist for?
I just graduated this May.
All right, nice. So you're right. You're a baby age dentist. That's not talk for bad. Just so you know, baby age dentist has nothing to do with being a baby or age. There's people who are 40-year-olds, been a dentist for 1 year. I'm a medium age dentist, a mad. I'm 44, been a dentist for 19 years. Great. Awesome, Sarah. Kimberly, how about you?
I think it's always good to show both options to patients, especially patients who are a little bit more on the fence, even though most folks prefer something fixed. It's nice to have testimonial videos that show you can get just as good of a result with a denture that's supported by implants as opposed to fixed by implants.
Yeah, and a really good point. So that's hopefully these PPPPPs don't bring you back to the pandemic PPP like Jay and I think about PPP loans, but patient-centered, profitable, productive care. Patient-centered means that some people are just not going to take care of their fixed case no matter what it costs, and maybe the other one fits better. So I don't judge at all. I just give the menu. I don't know why people care. People go, patients want to know what I think is best. How many of you order for your own spouses or boyfriends or girlfriends? I don't do that. But if my wife said order for me, I would break out in hives. I go, I'm going to pick the wrong thing. And we've eaten thousands of meals together, thousands. Okay. So don't order for your patients. Just say, here's some options. Pick what's best. Great. Lisa, how about you?
I like the idea of making a video. We make like videos for patients like that they just do reviews for us, but I think a lot of them, especially like veneer cases, would be happy to do like a, testimonial about that.
Patient. Now, ideally, it's best to always have your own patient so you can talk authentically. But you just met two patients that talked about their cases. If you have a patient tomorrow, Lisa, who wants to know about a fixed overdenture case, where could you show them a video from?
From you?
Yeah, the Dental Nachos YouTube channel or PenningtonDentalCenter.com has our cases on there. I'm a collaborative person. I don't know, it probably helps me if you share it. So just go to PenningtonDentalCenter.com or the Dental Nachos YouTube channel and just say, hey, here's some patient that is proud of what we did for them.
We also have a lot of videos running in our office on the TV that are actually live, actual patients that are before afters on running on the screen on the loop.
Yeah, that's great. You can pause
so I think
show.
that's.
You know what's interesting? I'm a big fan of this guy, Gary Vee, though. And those two videos are documented, not produced. You could tell them I told them on a cell phone thing. That patients love that. I often bring them up on my own cell phone. People always love that. I go, oh, let me show you something on my cell phone. They love videos like that. So it's just sharing a fun story. Jay, what's something you learned over the last 20 minutes that you could use tomorrow?
I really like your always about the impact statement and then the story. I think patients relate more to stories, and I think I've said that multiple times as I mentor all the dentists here, and I feel like having something, and it doesn't necessarily, as you just mentioned, Paul. If Lisa's looking to kind of show somebody a video, it doesn't always need to be her patient. It's even just a story that kind of puts the patient in a relational environment where, like, hey, listen, this was a patient, they were looking at getting all of their teeth out, and this is what they ended up doing, and see how happy they are. Just that story of how they progress from not being able to eat to functionally eat pistachios and enjoy their meals and restaurant visits makes such a big, but it's a story. The story is what matters.
That's a 71-second video, whatever your motivating factors are, right? So let's say you're a personal trainer trying to get people to get in shape. You're like dental personal trainers, and somebody wants to look good on the beach, but you want to be healthy. Who cares? Make them look good on the beach, and in the process, you're going to make them healthy. Let's say somebody wants to be stronger, but they want a bigger biceps, but you really want to increase you think they need better core strength. Well, address their bigger biceps while you make their core better, right? That's our job. So find out what the patient matters to them and then be a really good, responsible dentist along the way in helping them. What's interesting is I get all this, sometimes I get feedback and people are like, oh, Paul, your courses are about patient communication. But my next question is going to be, I infused a lot of clinical teaching. You just found that boring and you like the communication part better. So we're going to go back because I said 7, 8, 9, 10 points that will help you clinically, but it's just not as exciting to you. Simi, you ready for your point?
Yes. Sorry.
No problem. You're cool.
I
I would come down to communication. I know you just said clinical points was important and everybody
communication.
else said that, but I think communication goes a long way. And I think my favorite line today is teeth are ready to retire.
Yeah, just be fun. I don't know why we be so weird. If dental school made it so weird, just be nice to people. I mean, honestly, whether I use all different kinds of things. Personal trainers, maybe, freaking there's like a closet organizer you hire. And if they came to our house, they would freaking have a nervous breakdown because I've accumulated stuff through 2 kids. And what if I was like, hey, I want you to help me organize my closet? With like, your closet's a total disaster. Well, that's not very nice. I know. I hired you. We do that all the time. You're mean by accident all the time. I don't know. Like it's not a thing that creates likability and makes people want to use you. So you can be responsible and highlight that, yes, you have bone shrinkage, cavities, your teeth, there are areas of breakdown, but if these teeth are ready to retire, luckily you have another option. Good. Now let's go back to the clinical part. What's something clinically that you learned? Fixed, removable, screw retain restorations, implant maintenance that you think will help you make your patients live their best dentisting lives. Maybe it has to do with maintenance. Maybe it has to do with screw versus cement. Maybe it has to do with the fixed versus removable mindset. While you're thinking, so when we bought our last car, I was like, I'm going to get a BMW because I think I deserve one, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy that many nice things. But as I decided against it, it's because I had a 5 and a 2-year-old who will smash those little goldfish into crevices that no one can even find. When you buy a BMW, you have to take it to the special BMW oil change place. So we bought a very nice Acura RDX. I'm really bad with cars, but let's say that Acura RDX was $35,000 and the BMW was $50,000. I didn't choose it because I couldn't find the additional $15,000. I chose it because it fit into my life situation of living in Center City, Philadelphia, parking on streets that they brought horses up in the 1700s, constantly hitting into things. I say, you know what, Paul, your life's going to be better with an Acura RDX. The maintenance of that RDX is going to be a lot easier for you. So I'll start with you, Maria. Any clinical things you could share that stood out to you? I think you muted yourself. Sorry, Maria, you're too nice. I'd appreciate when you guys mute, but you're still muted there, Maria. Sorry.
Basically choosing a case based on also taking maintenance into account on like what the compliance of the patient is very important on case selection.
Yep. I mean, the first patient that you saw, I don't know if you guys ever feel this, but sometimes you walk into the room. Do you ever think you're in the wrong room? You're like, am I seeing the right patient in this moment? So when they told me that I had a patient who said he needed all of his teeth out, and I saw him with his fancy sneakers and nice jeans back in 2008, I actually thought I was in the wrong room. I'm like, this must not be my patient. And he opened his mouth and he had full-scale cavities, holes in his teeth, problems. I didn't judge him, as you see, but he has a very fancy sports car. He has a Porsche and he maintains his fixed case like that. It's very rare. You're going to see someone who hasn't done that in a minute. Lisa, clinical tip take home for you. What do you think?
That you can put extra implants in there to
Yeah.
save up the bone later.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. Do you need 4 or 6? I don't know. I mean, Jay's a really savvy guy. We basically give case fees for stuff. It's like, we don't really decide 5 versus 6 implants. We kind of talk conceptually for that. So yeah, bone saving implants. Kimberly, how about you?
Just to reiterate, I think the maintenance is key because that's the kind of starting point I use when I'm speaking with patients who are at the end of the road and really it's at the point to where you don't have many other options. So I kind of just emphasize the beauty of never having them have any pain anymore. You never have to worry about issues with the teeth. It's solid as a rock. And whether it's fixed or implant supported, it's certainly going to serve you a lot better than where you are right now.
Yeah. And coming in for regular hygiene maintenance is important no matter what you get. I mean, patients, they just make stuff up. And I don't know, they do this weird thing. I know what it's called. It's called lying, because I'll be like, yo, why didn't you come back? When they come back with like half their acrylic teeth broken off. And I'm like, you're supposed to come back twice a year. They go, no, you said I never had to come back. I go, that's just a lie, Millie. You're making up words and you're saying them out loud. No one ever once told you that. But they think because they don't have teeth, it's a real dangerous thing. So we send them maintenance letters. Morgan, if
Thanks
you
for patience.
make a list from this, Morgan, I'll email Jay and the team our implant maintenance letter, which is basically like, hey, if you don't come back, you might have a problem that we don't see. So great one. Sarah, how about you?
There we go.
Sure.
So one of the things, I guess it's part communication, part clinical. I liked how you pointed out with the patient having the roof of their mouth exposed, just being able to taste things, have those extra senses. That's something that I would like too. I don't know many people that would just say, no, knock that off.
But
So
that's a totally fair one. It's explaining that a clinical benefit of having, when people say, why is it worth it to invest in an implant overdenture? The clinical benefit is always maintaining bone. So the more implants, the more bone. The other is being able to have teeth that don't have plastic over the roof of your mouth. I mean, I got a 7 and a 3-year-old. I mean, I'm constantly threatening and bribing them all day long to get through my day. No Hanukkah gifts, this and that. So, I mean, you can kind of be like, use words to your advantage. Hi, Simi, would you like plastic to cover the roof of your mouth for the rest of your life? And then don't say anything. They'll be like, no. And you'd be like, well, fortunately, we invented stuff that make that not possible. Good one. Simi, how about a clinical one from you?
I would say 2 in this. One is how you use the video to train your team.
Right.
I feel I like using my assistants to talk about the patients when I feel they're like on the fence. So if your team is convinced and truly believe in what you do, they will work over and beyond. Even if they don't mean it, their words have a long impact. So I think training your team and probably constantly reminding them of the fact that there are a lot of happy patients with what you do.
What we always think of negative people. I don't know. We got 500 reviews. One negative we think about all the time. Not our 499. We're very messed up in the head. We're people and we're dentists. We're very off, right? We need our own special brand of psychology to deal with us. Not joking, by the way. I think there should be a dental focused psychologist that study us and help us because we are really messed up. Because we value negative opinions, that like 3 of them instead of 300 good ones. And your team has to remember that. I'm going to show you in a minute. When I had that conversation with the first person, I was working with an assistant who never worked with me before. So I said, this is a really good opportunity to ask her what she thought of that interaction. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Jay, how about a clinical tip from you? Or clinical anything?
So for me, I would say that, like kind of like based on what you just said, we have one negative review and all of a sudden, we just start kind of obsessing over that one negative thing. It's the same with treatment plannings. We kind of present these treatment plans as a package deal. We present large treatment plans, and then we kind of taper them off over to compartmentalize smaller treatment plans. But if the patient gets scared and runs away, we think, oh my God, I should have never presented the large one. I should have never given them that big option. We kind of stop talking about the things. But it's not about that. It's the more you present the same options in the same structured way to all the patients that need that treatment plan, the better you'll get at it. And it's better for them to have those options. It's not about putting implants in the mouth. It's giving them the option of like, okay, do you want to have plastic? Do you want to have removal? And then getting better at communication.
The more you talk about it, the better for you. Also, I'm going to give you a really golden phrase in a second, but their teeth aren't going to grow back. So maybe they come back in 2 years and get it. Don't be crazy.
Exactly.
Just say, hey, we reviewed everything. Even if you decide to do nothing, we can still be friends. That's one of my lines. Reminding them that wherever there's no implants, bone will continue to shrink. But, sometimes, so here's what happens. I'm going to give you guys a really good tip. And this is more about communication in general, because I got a sponsor team at Dental Nachos. Morgan's on it. She's awesome. And people start to question and ask, and they're just, the more questions they ask, the more they're trying to talk themselves out of it. Doesn't matter if it's implants, sponsoring Dental Nachos. Doesn't matter if you're inviting your friends to a bachelorette party. Once they're on question number 7 about who's coming on Thursday night, they don't want to go, or they're super annoying. One of those 2 things. Okay. So you guys do this all the time. This is gold for your profitability, for your patient-centeredness and sanity. When a patient seems to be stuck in either challenging you, asking a lot of questions, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 questions. You know what I'm talking about. It could be from a night guard to a full mouth of implants. You're going to feel it. You feel it in your stomach. You're like, this is not going well. I don't know what to do. Just say this, okay? Simi, look at the person and just say, and sometimes they're nice, but they're just an analysis paralysis. Sometimes they're overwhelmed. Just say, hey, when you are ready to move forward, we will be ready to help you. When you are ready to move forward, we will be ready to help you. When you are ready to move forward, we will be ready to help you. Morgan Bellis, remember that for our sponsors too. It goes for literally anything in life. When you are ready to move forward, we will be ready to help you. And then that's the end, right? When you're ready to move forward, we'll be ready to help you. Maybe that's in a month, maybe that's in a year. It's kind, it lets them out easily, and it gets you out of the room.
I feel like those are actually truly golden words, because I say that all the time. It's not about the oversell. It's about, hey, listen, if this is the right fit for you, let me know and we'll take care of it. If it's not, it's not the right time right now, we'll come around to it when you're ready for it. And that's kind of like, when you're ready for it, we'll be ready to help you.
Just note.
I think that is golden. I think that those are really, really valuable
It
words.
just helps you get out of rooms. It could be freaking, I don't know, some mom deciding if their kid wants a sport guard for hockey. I mean, how much do we need to talk about this? The more words, there's just this certain magical time. It's probably like 5 to 7 minutes of interaction. Once something goes beyond that for things, in general, it's just not going to go well in that moment. And you say, hey, would you like to make another appointment? Just get yourself into the room. All right, cool. Good job. You can turn your videos off. You get a 10-minute break. Braveness. Perfect. So good. So I told you guys that I said right after that, I'm going to ask a dental assistant who never worked with me about what they thought of that first person, not the removable, the fixed. Let's listen to what she says together.
Before, right?
No.
First time ever, right?
Yeah.
What are some things that you thought were unique about my style about talking to patients or as a dental assistant?
The first thing I liked is the way you talk to the people. They get so comfortable. That's the first thing I think everybody needs, because when I see patients every day, and then when they come into the office, they're like very nervous.
Right, for sure.
Very nervous about their appointment, very nervous what's gonna happen. And the way you start with the patient, they came here to hang out with you.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna have good fun stuff, and they know exactly what's gonna happen.
Love that, Harvey.
That makes them comfortable, and that goes the appointment so smooth. And after that, they go like with a smile and all that stuff, which I really like it.
I love that, because I said to you in our morning huddle, I said, working with me, it's like trying to get the patient, trying to make patients feel like they're hanging out, having as good a time as possible at the dentist, and getting to know them as people. So one of the things I'll break down for you, Harjot, because if it ever could help you, is what's the system? Everything that matters needs a system, everything matters. My system is, first, say something that has nothing to do with dentistry, everything to do with the patient, but also something positive-ish, right?
Yeah.
If you know the patient, like I knew our first patient well, I know if something's set up. So I knew that she was working in HR, for example, and asking how to, but if I don't know the patient, I usually say this, and this is what you can use, and this is a good tip for you. What fun thing you have planned after this appointment? Nothing could be more fun than this. They will laugh immediately, and then they will immediately start to fun thing. Notice they say, what fun thing? So maybe they have to go pick up, I don't know, firewood. That's not fun. But then they think, oh, tonight I'm seeing a friend from high school. Oh, that's great. Tomorrow I'm going to my daughter's play. That's the key. When you don't know a patient at all, and you walk into an appointment, a place they don't want to be, say to them, hey, what fun thing do you have planned for after this appointment? Because I know nothing's more fun than the dentist. And they always laugh. And then
So now, what is the value of feeling good about yourself? So we saw our Miles assistant sharing, make things more fun in the operatory. She was surprised at how fun, calm, hang out with friends. But now I want to share a case where we do have these magic wands. This was Daphne when she was younger, to transform people's lives. And instead of drills, maybe it's drilling on bone for implants. So this is my patient that I met in 2005. This is how he started, and this is how we finished him 2 years later. He had not seen a dentist in 30 years. He came in thinking he was going to get his teeth cleaned, and he found out he needed way more than that. So I think I was like 27 at the time, shared with him his options, and he chose a fixed implant case. But a lot of times in CE, you don't see what happens after the after. Dr. Chance Bodine said that. Do they live happily ever after? And I still know this patient very well, but this case did not live happily ever after. There was a lot of adventures. So this is what it looked like when it went in. but he had problematic bone to begin with. So problematic bone always stays problematic bone. And the reason why most patients have problematic bone is due to taking care of their teeth and bone. So they don't often magically take care of implants better than their teeth. Now, this patient strives so hard to do that, but I want to share with you over the next few slides the story of his case and how even when things go off script, we can still make people happy with us and happy with dentistry. So how do we start a dialogue with this? And we talked about this in the first lecture. Here's what happens if you do nothing. Here's the menu options, the pros and cons of each menu option. I want to share with you, I really don't care, like Dr. J just said, in the kindest way, what the patient chooses. I just want to give them a good rundown of what's possible for them in their life. So decreased chewing ability, bone infection, teeth are loose that they could fall out, bone shrinkage. These are some of the problems. If you did nothing, this is what's going to happen. Being a responsible dentist is sharing and highlighting and documenting, hey, here's what happens if you do nothing with your situation. Here's a list of concerns. Here's what happens if you do nothing. Maybe there were a few teeth in the anterior that could be maintained, not saved. We don't save teeth like Private Ryan, we maintain them. He decided he wanted a bigger picture option. So here's the menu. Fixed implant type cases, hybrids, removable, or zero implants with tall teeth. Remember, dentures without implants are for smiling, not chewing. Dentures without implants are for smiling, not chewing. I explained, I've worked on patients who've chosen these options, except for the lower denture without implants and been happy. Each one have pros and cons. Would you mind taking your teeth out or not? Would you like to speak with one of my patients? That's valuable. You showing a video can be just as valuable. So we transform Mark with fixed implant dentistry, multiple implants, bar and acrylic. Now, many times we would use zirconia instead, and maxillary mandibular fixed hybrid case. If he did all this in private practice, he did some of this in our residency program, he would have invested $75,000. So it made him feel confident smiling and talking to people, energized his business. And his wife said it saved his life because we took his blood pressure when he came in. First time he came in, we took his blood pressure. It was 200/100, took it again. It was 190/110. I sent him to his doctor. He got on blood pressure medication. He started to get himself in better shape. You could see he looks younger there than when he started. But we talk about after the after. So you keep seeing this awesome transformation, but what happened? Does it live happily ever after? So now let's talk about stuff that dentists love. You all love it. When things don't go well, peri-implantitis, fractured teeth, we truly love it. So over time, his case was breaking down around certain implants. What's kind of interesting, and I'm always a positive person, why are these implants totally great and these losing bone? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll ever know. It's just a mystery of the universe. So in 2007, he had all of these implants. 11 years later, we have a big problem. So we're transitioned him from a fixed case to a removable on the bottom. I removed this hybrid, upper hybrid. The implant came out with it. I had saved his older denture, like the backup denture. I used temporary cylinders and made him a backup acrylic hybrid, as you can see here. And he's living right now today, 2021, 16 years later, with this hybrid and a lower removable overdenture. So this is a case where things went off script. We had an adventure, but we got Mark back to being in good shape. And as you could see, he really, really hates me, right? So I mean, now everyone can turn their videos back on. It's clear this person hates me, right? Because his case didn't go well. So let's talk for a minute. Everyone put their videos back on. Here's an example of a full arch implant case where I strived my best back in 2005 to give this patient fixed implants. He would not choose differently. He likes his lower implant removable. But how many of you raise your hand would be worried if that happened to one of your patients, they would be mad at you, okay? And that's reasonable, but we just need to manage expectations. ME, the key to success in life is me, managing expectations, sharing with patients what's happening, how we can make it better, where some things lie with him, where some things might have lied with what we know best at the time and doing that dentistry. We can't predict the future. You don't have a crystal ball. But when you manage people's expectations, both clinically, practice management, business-wise, as you could see here, I don't know if you guys kind of caught this in the story, but my periodontist and I, we noticed, you can see here, look at the lower right. Oh, here's an extra implant. look at the lower left. So here's an extra implant. So before the case totally failed, which we don't say failed, before some implants needed to retire and be replaced, we were putting in extra bone savers that we knew we would need one day. So we were strategically adding more implants to this case so the patient would have something to function with later. Manages expectations the whole time. So as you can see, he looks furious, right, Jay? Such an angry guy eating pizza with me in Philadelphia. He's a management consultant. He helps people find jobs. He's amazing. We have content with him. He helps manage teams, help people get along. One of my favorite people here on planet Earth. He was so mad, he just sent me a Thanksgiving basket again. So is there a chance everything we've been taught in dental school about how to work with patients is wrong? Yes, very big chance. We do not treat them like regular people. We talk to them like weird other dentists. So in this case here, I didn't totally freak out when the case was going off script. I wasn't happy. Who would be happy? Someone's losing all the bone in their implants. That would be a crazy person. But I didn't take responsibility. I mean, this says it all clinically. Jay's done implants. Hey, Jay, you see those implants on the upper left? It doesn't look like there's much bone loss at all, right? Do you see much bone loss on the implants on like 12 and 13 area? Here?
No, 12 and 13 surprisingly looks good. And like I said, I have no clue why the
Can you please tell me the answer? We just don't know. Stop freaking out about stuff we don't know. I'm glad that's the case. You know, most dentists, they would love it if all the implants failed because they go, that makes my brain feel good. I can understand why. Same people.
Well, we don't know what we don't know, you know?
Yeah. So just fix things for people when we can. So let's go back to you guys. When you see a case go off script, because they do, manage people's expectations, figure out how to fix it first, figure out the money part second, see what makes sense. There's a Nacho sponsor we use, Morgan drop in the chat, called Dental Warranty. We use them all the time now. It actually warranties their work for 6 years, and Dental Warranty pays. They're totally a sponsor of Nachos. I got to say, it's a sponsor. When I go to C-Course, they're a sponsor inside the sponsor, but they sponsor us. We've used them. We now use them all the time, Jay. They're the best thing ever because it manages patients' expectations. I'll use an example for you. Sarah, I can do a crown for you for $1,800. It has no warranty. So if you break it eating a piece of ice in 6 months, you have to pay $1,800. Or you can pay $1,980, a $180 additional charge to warranty it for 6 years. If you break it, anything happens, it will be placed at no cost for the first 6 years. Which one would you pick, Sarah? Totally you, the patient.
Warranty, no question.
Just like your cell phone thing. So I wish that was existed then. Now his case would have been outside the warranty, but people put a lot of wear and tear and stuff. But what did I do? I tried to make it right, charge for some of the lab bills to fix these things. I had a good relationship with them. But what questions can I help you guys understand before we finish on cases that go sideways, off script, challenges about fixed or removable cases? Because that's what will happen to you. So now's the time to ask someone like me who's had things go sideways. Lisa, any challenge questions I can answer for you? Or anyone can unmute and just ask me.
When did you place those extra implants for him?
I think probably 2014-ish. I posted this on one of the Facebook groups, only dentists. I'm just telling you, whenever there's a good idea and dentists don't like it, I'm like, this is a really good idea, right? I judge. So I posted this. I was like, hey guys, this guy hadn't seen a dentist for 30 years. I just have very thick skin. It's like nacho thickened skin. I should see a doctor about it. I go, hey guys, I did this case for this person. You saw what he started with, hadn't seen a dentist for 30 years. I referred him to a doctor to get his blood pressure down. His wife thought I saved his life, okay? 9 years later, kind of starts breaking down. I go, how many of you dentists would be really mad at me? It's not surprisingly, all of them, right? How many real patients would be mad at me? Not surprisingly, this guy was not. Because dentists have been trained to think like dental school, that for some reason, when stuff doesn't even though you replace cars every 7 to 10 years, here's the thing. You would help every dentist in the history of life. You just said this. It's going to start now and in 30 seconds. Tomorrow, when you finish something, crown, filling, night guard, implant, just say to the person this: Just do it. Do it for all of us. Bond us together. Maria's my patient. I do a class 2 composite. I'm like, hey, Maria, just so you know, it's normal for this to last 5 to 12 years. And then don't say anything else. If you just say it's normal for this to last 5 to 12 years, you will help some other dentist when they move across to Arizona and they say, my crown broke and it was done 8 years ago, it would be normal. It's normal for this to last 5 to 12 years. So we placed in like 2014, Simi. It was creative strategy. I didn't know when I was going to take it off and do that, but really good question. Kimberly, Maria, Sarah, any questions? Lisa, Jay?
I guess, excuse me, when you reached a crossroads, did you find a lot of help from specialists like surgeons, periodontists, the like?
This is one of my advantages, like you guys have too. So Maria knew him, Steve Sarkowski. He just left for his own office, but I worked with him for 12 years. He worked in the same office with me. That was a huge advantage. I think I could have managed it outside. I just think it would have been harder. But when you have someone like you guys come in, you can kind of manage some of the fees, the cost, the looking at things better. So that's a really good question. Now you guys ask me any questions. We have, as we have like 8 or 9 minutes left. Any questions on anything? While you're thinking of a question, we're going to do a whole bonus segment in January because I don't want you guys to forget about me to hear about your cases. We do a whole bonus segment on Wednesday the 12th, so it's not over. I'm going to give you the video of this like we did last time. Sarah, make sure you connect with Morgan. Everyone got a totally free Nacho series of on-demand C that you can watch anytime. I asked everybody. Some people had downloaded it. Some people watch one, but this is anytime, anywhere learning. So if you think of other questions, wait till then. But Lisa, any other questions on the road to implant dentistry? Maria?